So yeah, that was a good intro.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, man. What an intro.
Well, welcome to the first edition of Anime Talks, where we're going to talk about GXP first.
Mm-hmm. I am Kenny, the guy who Walter has been talking about.
And of course, you already know we have Walter. So, here's the deal. Just before we go into it, apparently third season, right at the end, like second to last episode, apparently... This is like a minor backstory. Tokimi, Tsunami, and Washu are like god deities who created the universe, actually trying to find their own rendition of who could succeed them in being a deity god or whatever. And in order to actually like make sure that none of this ever happens again, they actually reverted back time, but everyone still kept their memories. So Tenchi, Ryoko, Ayaka, Sasami, everyone kept their memories. And right at the moment when Mihoshi is supposed to send a letter to her brother, twin brother, is when Noike, the person who actually does come in Season 3, and Fuku, of all cabits, comes in, rewrites the letter like Z did, so that the entire events happened again.
Oh, God.
So
that's terrible.
Without Fuku, who is in GXP in this one,
yeah,
the events of GXP would never happen.
So basically it's like, revert it back to where it doesn't happen, and then this little thing comes in and just basically happen all over again.
Yeah.
God damn it, it's like Butterfly Effect, but 10 times worse.
Ah, yes, of course.
Except this time, instead of doing a butterfly effect where different outcomes come out, it's basically playing a rewind button and just playing the video over again.
Yeah, it's like New Game Plus, just without with everything now.
Except you don't get cool little weapons and plasmids.
Yeah, good point. So now, let's get on to GXP. First off, Sayo Yamada, we are introduced to him, like, having the worst dumb luck ever!
No, that's not dumb luck. That's basically totally crappy luck. I mean, one, his bike breaks. Two, everything happens to him, and it's like, everyone around him,
that part.
like, and then the whole bus thing where he's like, yeah, I'm prepared for this, and then the next trailer comes by and it's like, splashes them both. Then the bike incident, where he's like, holding the two little things, like the handlebars.
Yeah.
God, that was so pathetic. It's like, one bike part, and it's just sitting there floating in midair.
Nah.
And then, I think did it fall down? I forgot that detail.
I think later on in the episodes, like nearing the end, it actually self-destroyed itself.
The bike self-destructs.
Yeah, and then
he
decides, and then of course, he's about to get late, he decides to take the shortcut.
Which ends up being longer than the normal way.
Yeah, because number one, his tire flattens, and number two, a ship actually comes in. He doesn't know what the hell's going on.
He nearly drowns.
Yeah, and then we are introduced to Amane.
Oh, God. And then the whole shebang starts off.
Yeah, like apparently they stated in the third season of the OVA that Amane was supposed to come in and supposed to give the pamphlet to Tenchi.
But then instead it gets sent.
No, he does. She still gives it to Tenchi, but she also gives it to Sena when she saved him.
Yeah, oh God, Sena really had bad luck.
Yeah.
And then his parents sell him out for a beach vacation.
We'll get into that. And then we meet Kiriko, which is apparently love interest number 1. And then Amane's love interest number 2, but we're gonna get into that once Sena gets into space. Alright?
2 down, 2 left to go.
Yeah. God damn it. Apparently, Sena actually came in, bike completely gone, after falling from a cliff.
How does he survive that? That's my question.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, he has good luck in survival, bad luck in the fact that he fell off a cliff.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And then... Yeah, Kiriko Masaki is technically Sena's love interest number 1. But we'll get into more details once we get into characters, but But apparently Sena didn't even realize the lipstick that Amane left
was still on his face.
Yeah, when she was performing CPR. And then, this is what I can remember, Sena tries to take a bath while Kai, Kiriko's younger brother, decided to build his bike. Sena was actually dreaming about Amane. Sucks up all the bubbles. And almost passes out. Then, of course, Sena went home, but before leaving the vicinity of a block, the bike destroys again.
Yeah, well, not to mention everywhere he goes, there's chaos because he does manage to get back to his the shop house he lives in.
Yeah.
In which case, he promptly gets caught in that overhang thing.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, as he's running back out, all hell breaks loose.
So he comes home, bike self-destructs, of course, like I said, and his parents, his mother and sister forced him to go.
Tag team.
Yeah, goddamn tag team. And then, of course, Sena actually decided, apparently Sena gets kidnapped by GXP. And
I wouldn't call it kidnap because he did sign that legal waiver.
Even though he did sign it, he might not didn't even recognize what was going on at the time.
Yeah, didn't he think it was an amusement park?
Yes.
God, that's horrible.
Besides, if he did show the pamphlet to Kiriko, she would have delayed it, just removed it as like something else entirely, which we'll get into in an upcoming plot point. And then so Sena goes into space. What he does is gets himself stuck in a 2-dimensional washer.
Yes, I do recall that. He's like poking the wall, and then all of a sudden the thing just eats him.
Yeah, pretty much. And then he gets washed by himself.
Hey, at least he'll be clean for his first encounter.
Oh yeah, that's right. And then of course, pirates come in. Actually, when they were about to go into warp, he inadvertently activated the comm link.
Yes, I remember that.
And then pirates were able to actually hear the entire conversation and so on.
And then they start jumping, and then...
Yeah, they decided to do random jumps. However, they decided to give Sena the ability to jump to random coordinates.
And Sena, being bad luck as ever, jumps to... what?
More pirates!
How many were there? Like 200 at least?
Yeah, 200 to 500.
And half, the entire armada the people said or something?
Like half the fleet. Half of the pirate fleet.
All except for one.
Yeah, pretty much. What? And then, of course, the Mikagame, which is Lady Sato's, or the Devil Princess of Jirai.
That's her little flagship?
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it little, actually. The thing's freaking huge.
Yeah. And then, during the entire chaos, Ryoko, becoming love interest number 3 later on, realizes what was going on. She stops, and apparently the rest of the fleet gets captured. Sena actually comes in and to the Mikagame, talks with Lady Sato about what the hell's been going on, what happened just recently. Apparently, she congratulates Sena over the course of capturing the most pirates ever in GP history
without even being fully graduated.
Yeah, and of course, the 7th Armada guy, the general of the 7th Armada, actually comes in and stated that even though he did this, he's still technically an Earthling, so we need to deport him back to Earth and erase his memory.
In which case, that fails.
Yeah, apparently Lady Sato decided to give him the choice to Sena that whether or not to continue on doing this, or just head back home and forget everything. He decided to continue on. She's totally fine with it, and she actually wanted to see more chaos within the GP.
Yes, and that's terrible. And then the guy who wants him deported is going to be after his hide for the next few episodes.
Oh, no. That's not the 7th Armada guy. That's Serio Tenon.
Yeah, he's after him since the very beginning.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So he gets into GPHQ. When he got into immigration, he's shocked to see Kiriko.
And she's pissed to see him.
Somewhat. She was glad at first, but kind of pissed when Amane showed up.
Always.
Yeah.
And thus begins the Naruto-like rivalry between two people.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw sparks fly in that one. It's basically, spare me!
Both Sena, Kiriko, and Amane are teleported, or were ordered to head into the Irie's office, who is actually Tenchi's grandmother, but she doesn't want people to do that. So he decided to stay, and then both Kiriko and Amane are demoted to being teachers for the academy.
For recruiting the Earthling.
Well, technically for Amane to recruit the Earthling in the first place, and also for Kiriko under Sato's orders, apparently. Probably under Sato's orders. And then so begins the academy life.
Oh, poor Sena.
Yeah, at first everything was going well, until his roommates, Kenneth and Raj, wanted to sneak away at night.
Oh god, those... We never really got to see what those little marks were. They were all blurred out.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's the funny thing. Apparently there's supposed to be little marks.
When you get shot by these little robots, then if you get shot in the face, it blurs it out like this much. So like this whole little area is like blurred out from the entire screen. Yeah, but didn't the guys have to, all except for Sena, have to wear bags over the heads for the next few weeks?
For the time being, yeah.
Oh god. Did they hijack one of those little police cars?
Yes. Managed to escape, and then
and then the whole entire dorm got taken because Sena tripped him up somehow?
Yeah.
Oh god, the bad luck is spreading.
Yeah. They get into the city. Apparently, they still got the marks. Both Raj and Kenneth got the marks.
Surprisingly enough, Kenneth and I both share the same name. That's kind of sad.
Yeah, that's... And then, of course, they gained the idea of wearing paper bags.
Backhead.
Definitely. And, of course, of all the times they actually meet up with Amane, Kanak.
Oh, God.
And then, going through all of this, at one point they did go to dinner. They were congratulated for escaping the security, and then they were put to sleep. Which...
Then they wake up in
a prison cell! And Amane turned out to be Irma, who I forgot to mention. Apparently, Irma is a GXP assistant to Irie, or something like that.
Isn't she one of the techno people?
Yeah, she's also one of the
bioaugmentation.
Yeah, stuff? And then it turns out both Kenneth, Raj, and Sena are test subjects for human hunting. Which, considerably, they have decided to change over the course of the years. And now they need to use data renditions of the actual person. Irma drops Sena, Kenneth, and Raj home. And apparently, it turns out they activated the security system again! But this time, like the aftermath, it was that Sena actually gets, like, a blurred mark. And then it turns out that due to Sena's bad luck, he has unwillingly unleashed viruses on the system and almost...
And actually, didn't they capture it? And it was like this little grave robber dude running around.
Yeah, and apparently they found so many viruses, and goddammit.
Well, at least it's lucky enough for that.
Yeah, and then once they start graduation, they're actually starting the academy. Apparently, Sena is supposed to give the introduction speech.
Inaugural speech.
Yeah, the inaugural speech. And then...
He blows out the speakers along with everything else.
Yeah, because the volume was going weird at once.
Oh, he's like, tap, tap, tap. And then he goes, hello! The only equivalent I could say for that would be the equivalent of a Force Rodolph from Skyrim.
Yeah, that's right. And then, of course, Serio, the pink-haired guy, Sena! Flying off.
See ya.
Yes, of course. And then...
Oh, that's like the first time he gets shot off like that.
Yeah.
One down. How many more? Like 99 to 100 more?
Yeah, apparently.
But that's later in the series, people.
Yeah, so... And then it turns out that everyone went through body enhancement, which is supposed to give you...
minus Sena, at first.
Yeah, Sena, like... So now, Serio is making Sena go through all of this. Both Amane and Kiriko started to get a little bit worried, just because of how long it's taking. It turns out Serio paid off the technicians to actually lie to them.
Yeah, and didn't he get caught in the end?
Yeah, he gets caught by Mikami, who's the head of GP.
Now that's seriously like some kind of murderer sitting there behind him going, "What did you just say about me?"
Yeah. Oh my god! So then afterwards,
He gets sentenced to doing bathroom duty for a while.
yeah, he gets sent to toilets, but with the Mitoto. So we get to see Sena actually go through it. Apparently, Amane decided to let him move in to her summer home with Irma and Kiriko.
And doesn't he bring that little assistoid thing with him?
Yeah,
I don't know what it's called.
NB. Yeah.
And then doesn't
Well, let's get into that. Sena's going through training. Apparently, at one point, Amane decided to rework around NB from recording everything that was going on to becoming the perverted robot.
Yeah, and wasn't she wearing somewhat of a perverted outfit at the time that showed a little bit too much?
Yeah, and then it caused Sena
to crash everywhere.
Yeah, and then...
And bioaugmentation plus crashing everywhere does not equal home improvement.
Not to mention nosebleeds.
Yes, a lot of nosebleeds. I'm surprised the thing was out to here. How does he manage to keep that plugged up? I expect Niagara Falls just to be pouring out his nose.
Yeah.
It'd be like, okay, I got a red ball now.
Yeah, pretty much. We get into Sena now going into space training. Which, at this point, Amane was there to help, was there as second in command. However, she lost her record as being the Zero Goddess for not actually intercepting pirates at all. And of course, Serial is there with them as their captain. And of course, this is when we meet up with Komachi, one of the pirate lords or something like that. And she had no choice but to kidnap Serial K9.
Yeah, I remember that. The fireproofing gel got them all stuck in.
Yeah.
And then Sena used his knife and carved his way out.
Yeah.
And then so, out of all the people who got out, the people with the most advanced technology, laser sword things, can't get out, and yet Sena uses a pocket knife and digs his way out.
Yeah, that kind of sucks, actually.
Don't underestimate the Earthling.
Yeah, again, it might have been because of his bad luck, though.
I know, but it's his good fortune, at least, that he had at least the pocket knife to dig his way out.
Yeah, I guess one. And, of course, Amane was happy about it.
Yeah, that's true. Because the guy's a jackass.
Yes, he is.
Kind of a prissy one, too.
Yeah.
And you probably, can punch him on the arm, give him a bruise, and he'll probably cry about it.
Yeah.
Not the strongest leader.
And then, of course, Sena gets, assigned to be, apparently, captain of a ship.
And yet he hasn't even graduated.
Yeah.
In which case, his salary is withheld.
Well, we'll get into that later.
Well, it's kind of obvious because he's not even graduated. You can't pay a recruit to do nothing.
Oh, yeah, that part. So, and apparently he actually loses, directions and went into a wrong ship, of course. Mitoto is also there. And then this is when...
She's like everywhere!
Yeah. Stupid and actually, weirdly enough, this is also where we meet up with Trongshank.
Yes, that guy.
Yeah, apparently considered one of the most despicable and terrifying pirates of them all around GP. And this is also when we actually get to see Kiriko actually becoming
completely psychopathical and murderous.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, I thought she becomes sort of like a Jeff the Killer thing and just starts murdering everything with everything she's got.
Yeah, and apparently at one point Sena was when Kiriko actually came and saved Sena from Toronto. At
that point, she looked like a mix between an invisible predator kind of thing.
Yeah.
And some kind of Jeff the Killer-ish thing.
Yeah, and
God, it was creepy as hell.
Yeah, and Sena got a little bit spooked out by it.
Yeah, but doesn't he stab him with his pocket knife?
Yeah, by Toronto. Toronto gets stabbed by Sena's pocket knife.
But then again, that did save his life.
Yeah, that part too. We meet up with Ryoko again. And probably one of the most baddest lucks ever for her. This is when Sena actually gets in to be captain of the Kamadake. And apparently Amane and Kiriko are also part of their crew members. The funny thing is, apparently Ryoko is supposed to be this pirate, princess pirate or whatever, that was able to not get detected by GXP at all. That is until Sena showed up.
Yeah, but then again, most of the GXP don't really want to catch her.
Yeah, because she is actually one of the more respected pirates and more worshipped pirates.
Yeah, well, who wouldn't? She's also kind of more the nicer one because you actually rather flee from Sena and the GXP rather than fight them like the other guys.
Yeah, which she decides to get a little cry about.
Yeah, because every time she goes somewhere, it's like, ship detected! There's Sena.
Like, oh, hey, how's it going? Like,
Let's get out of here! And then off they go again. And then again, right back, we're in the same place. Back to square one. 2 steps forward, 5 steps back.
yeah, pretty much.
Except this time, you can't go 5 steps back because you were already at the beginning.
Yes, sorry.
You can't go back any further unless you just kick your piece off the board.
Yeah, so apparently the Pirate Lords decided to say, get Ryoko to kill, Sena, since it turns out that she was actually Irma. The reason that she was forced to do it was because of the fact that apparently Tarrant actually captured most of the crew's family and holding them hostage. That's pretty much his primary plan for things. And apparently once Ryoko actually showed Sena herself who she really was after removing the Irma disguise, which is apparently it's a morphing sequence in its own.
Which you still get to see her every so often.
Yeah. She gets arrested, of course. They're back on the Kamadake. They found a wreckage, and it turns out that they are... It turns out one survivor actually tells them that he has a package to be delivered to Lady Sato.
In which case, they get chased by pirates because they find out somehow.
Yeah, apparently, some of the pirates actually found out about what was in the box. And then also, apparently, the ship is so damaged that at one point they all decided to almost give up if it wasn't for Ryoko showing up again. But anyways, Irie was found out that Ryoko is supposed to be this princess, which is later explained in the next episode. So Ryoko comes in, saves Sena and the ship. Apparently do minor repairs to it due to the extent damage of the ship.
Then the paint wrecked it every time they went through warp.
Yeah, and not to mention almost having a one-on-one kiss moment between Ryoko and Sena.
That would have led to a nuclear explosion. No one would survive.
Between Amane and Kiriko.
The war would start and this never end.
Yeah, apparently, Ryooki, like, at the near end of the episode, Ryooki does show up from the original OVA, saves the day, and apparently the giant ships, comes in and also transports them to Jirai.
And thus begins the matchmaker incidences.
Yeah, in this case...
But didn't they also have to decommission that other ship because it's wrecked beyond reasoning?
Yeah, at which point...
New ship!
Both Kiriko... Scratch that. Amane and Ryoko gets dragged away by Sato.
Well, didn't one of them try escaping before?
Yeah, that was Kiriko. And then the other 4 showed up.
Oh, dear lord. Poor Sena is hunted down.
Yeah.
Like some kind of...
Yeah, one was about to kiss Sena before Amane shows up.
They track him everywhere, even in the bath.
Yeah.
Didn't one of them sneak in the bath before him?
Yeah, that was later on, of course.
Oh, God. But still, it's the same area.
Yeah, same area. So,
too much chaos.
Kiriko tries to stop them. However, Lady Sato comes in behind her and drags her along. And then it turns out that later on, during that episode, Ryoko turns out to be a princess of the Balta Guild.
And her father is...
great-grandfather, actually, since her parents actually died in order to protect her.
Oh, right.
But, apparently, he's not as good as... Actually, let me put this. He's almost as equal to NB when it comes to pervertedness. However, he did actually give the option of Sena to marry Ryoko, which delighted Ryoko, but actually pissed off everyone else.